I first moved to Ayrshire when I was 8 years old, and I've spent the majority of my life here. So for me, Ayrshire isn't just a place that I moved to, it's home. I've worked here, I've lived here, I've met the people that I love here. For me, this is home, and I want to see it get better. I'm running because I want to listen to the people of the constituency. I want to listen to the people of Scotland. I want to listen to the people of the United Kingdom and give them an opportunity to have a Member of Parliament that wants to hear what they've got to say. And so far I've been doing that, and I want to continue doing that as an elected MP. Helping local communities, especially here in Ayr, Carrick and Cumnock, is an essential thing that we need to do. Part of our manifesto is to make sure that rural communities get free broadband before the bigger towns and cities do, because we believe that our rural towns have been left out, they've been forgotten about, they've been left to the side, and it's been an ongoing trend since the 1980s where people want to centralise, people want to take all the money from the communities and take it somewhere else. I believe that by helping the communities get the infrastructure that they need, we can start to get more jobs, start to give them more advantages that they don't currently have. This goes down to the green revolution as well. We want to create an entire new industry, or at least expand the current green industry to a point where the people who are living in these local communities can be trained up and can do the jobs for themselves, which means they no longer will have to move into towns, they will no longer have to leave their homes and move to the big cities. They'll be able to work from where they live. And I think that when you start the project from the outside inwards, you're going to start to see the benefits increase. Because if you're making money, you're going to spend your money in the towns, which will then lead on to the high streets, which means the high streets will be reinvigorated through the extra footfall that's happening from the villages and the towns. The next thing that I would want to do as an elected Member of Parliament is to make sure that our infrastructure is in place. We've got a problem with the A77. It needs to be upgraded. I learned at a local hustings held by the A77 Action Group that a lot of our local economy goes down a road which isn't fit for purpose anymore. Matter of fact, it's not been fit for purpose for a very long time, and that needs to change. We send £100 billion down that road and it crosses the sea over into Ireland, and they send £40 billion back. Why aren't we spending the money on that? Why hasn't the money been directed towards helping that get in place? And that also includes an expansion into our local transport networks. Our bus services have been reduced. Our train links aren't what they should be, and I believe that they could be better, and I for one would make sure that that be the case. I will campaign to reinvigorate our high street, not just in Ayr but also in Girvan, but specifically with the example of Ayr. When we knocked down the buildings at the bottom of the high street, we looked at it and thought, this is a great opportunity for us to finally look out onto our river and use it as a base to rebuild our riverside with our high street. But that opportunity so far has been squandered. I will campaign to make sure that we use the space that's available to us, use the natural advantages that we have. How many times have we walked across the river bridges and looked down and up and go, this is a beautiful place, why aren't we doing more with it? And the same goes with every major city on the continent. They use their rivers in such a brilliant way. I will campaign for us to do the same. I believe that the promises made by the Labour manifesto to pledge £2 billion to the Scottish NHS is essential to our NHS surviving in the coming years. We can't wait any longer. We can't pass the blame on. We can't claim that we're doing the best that we can in difficult times. We have an opportunity, a real opportunity, to fund our NHS in the right way. And the way we can do that is to vote Labour. I'm passionate about Labour's policy to eradicate poverty in our country. We are the 5th largest economy on the planet, yet poverty is rife. We've seen the pay gap from the poorest to the richest increase over the last 10 years of Tory government. This needs to stop. We need it to change. I've felt poverty close to home, and I can tell you one thing, people shouldn't be forced to live wondering whether or not they can feed their family or switch on the heating. I'm going to support the everyday working person by making sure that I'm available to every working person in the constituency. I'm not going to just base myself in Ayr or Cumnock or Girvan. I'm going to make sure that I'm mobile. I'm going to make sure that I'm visible in this constituency. Too many times we've had members of Parliament stand and then just vanish whenever we needed their help. The question is, where's your MPs been in the recent years? Have they been here to help you? Have you been able to reach out to them and get an honest answer without being batted aside? I'm here to listen. I think in this election it's clear that there's only one party that's looking out for the people, that's looking out for the everyday person. Let's get our country moving. Not just for the few, rich and elitists, but for the many. That's you. Vote Labour.